Could I have your attention please when I give you the following safety announcement. This vessel is equipped with one 65-man inflatable life raft which is at the stern of the vessel, and this is more than sufficient buoyancy for a number of persons aboard. We also carry 14-man life raft forward of the wheelhouse, and just behind the wheelhouse in the little seats we carry a buoyancy aid for each person.
Do you reckon we'll see Fort Belan?
I hope to see seal.
Seal? Sealy McSealface. Look how fast it's going, look at the pull against that boy. See it? Look at that. Beasting.
That's how Newborough gets it in. The engineers that designed the Land Rover, the Wilkesboro, they used to live nearby on Anglesey, and they tested the prototype for the first Land Rover in the Newborough sand dunes on our right ahead of us. This large area of sand dunes is known as the Newborough Warren and is the largest area of sand dunes in the UK. So all these dunes were formed during the Middle Ages as a result of a series of violent storms. Before the storms, it was all fertile farmland. And beyond the dunes to our right is the Newborough Forestry, started in 1949, and the Corsican pine was planted there to prevent the sand from blowing all over this end of the island. Before they planted the trees, they had quite a problem with wind-blown sand covering crops and blocking roads. We can see at least the first 20 miles of a gap in the land, but it's clear. So in line with the peninsula, a mile and a half beyond the dunes on the left end of us is Caernarfon Airport. Just beyond the two wind turbines there. You see the airport buildings coming into view there now. The SC Rescue Helicopter Service, which operated from the Valley of Anglesey many years, now operates from Caernarfon Airport. The service moved here about 8 years ago, now run by a private company. These new helicopters are red and white Sikorsky's. We do see them quite often now they're based nearby. So in line with the airport buildings on the Llyn Peninsula, you can see three peaks of similar shape and size. These three peaks are known in English collectively as the Rivals. It's come from the Welsh name Ravel, which sounds similar, but means something very different. Ryle means pork, and the middle peak is the highest peak on the Llyn Peninsula at a height of 1,860 feet. So the whole of the Llyn Peninsula is below 2,000 feet, but it does look very impressive when it's clear like this, as they more or less rise steeply. See that from sea level, you can see that from here. Whereas with Snowdonia to our left, as you can see, the low-lying mountains are already hundreds of feet before the mountains start, but they are much higher across. Right-hand peak on the Rivals heavens has been heavily quarried over the years with stone and granite. Left-hand peak is known as Trail. Snowdon is almost clear for the first time today. It's in the background. Between the two big mountains closest to us, I'm quite snowed down, so you want to get a bit further down and maybe get in the right light to just go clear by then. This is the southwest entrance to the Menai Strait now. Just ahead of us, this is where the strait runs out into Caernarfon. On the big tides, it runs at 5 knots plus. For a time on the big springs, it can reach a rate of 6 knots in the narrow sea, which are over 7 miles an hour. It's a very strong tide. So this is one of the deepest parts of the Menai Strait now. We're 15-16 metres at the moment. It's getting deeper all the time. We'll soon be into 20-25 metres as we get closer to the entrance. There are four very deep layers. The foreground is Wyneba, the one with the round top, that's 2004. To the right is Mynydd Mawr, also known as the Elephant Mountain, 2 in shape, and that's a 2-3. And then Snowdon in the background is the highest mountain in England, Wales. Also the highest mountain outside the Highlands of Scotland at 3,560 feet or 1,085 metres. Coming into view, 3.5 miles ahead of us, and I'd like to now see the headland where the lighthouse is. That's Llandin Island. Llandin Island, named after Santa Strickland, which is our patron saint for lovers in Wales. It's only an island at high water. So on small tides you walk across there at high water without getting your feet wet, but on big tides it does get well cut off and can be for 2 or even 3 hours. You'll see it looking more like an island in 1 or 2 minutes now. We'll be turned to port to make our way back. Just going to go a little bit further than usual, give you a closer look at the old fort. It's Caernarfon, as this is the last trip of the day now. Fairly explainable at the point to our right now. This was never a dwelling, 60 feet away. Not moving very fast, we need a few more rooms here. Once we get out of this point, we'll be in a large area of slack water ahead of us here now. There's a huge area of slack water. You can always miss the tide on the flood as well as the ebb inside here for a few minutes at least. We'll miss the tide at least for the first half mile on the way back now once we're around this point. These are oyster catcher on the shore to our right, you know, the black and white birds with the long orange beaks. Little dock on our right, constructed 30 years after the fort, built by the second Baron of Newbury. So the same Lord Newbury that fired the cannonball into the dunes behind us was in command of one of His Majesty's warships during the Second World War. He was on what was deemed to be just about the most daring raid of the Second World War, the one on San Nazaire. They had to knock out the dry dock at San Nazaire. To do this, they had to travel 7 miles upriver under very heavy gunfire. There was 600 men on the mission, quite a few vessels involved, including Lord Newbury's. They did lose it was a complete success of the mission, but they did lose quite a few men, and I think about 140 something on ended up in prison, including Lord Newbury. He managed to hit his target, but his vessel was blown up. It was on his way out. He lost an eye in the battle. They captured him and they put him in Colditz. Managed to escape from Colditz, no easy thing, but he was recaptured and spent the rest of the Second World War in prison there. It should be a lot nicer now running back before this breeze. Here, across this narrow edge is where we just stand. This was known as the Crook Ferry because of the shape of the headlands are left on the Anglesey side. This was the main artery between Anglesey and the Cape Peninsula. Just going to repeat some of it briefly for the ones that couldn't see what I was pointing out earlier. On our left is Anglesey, of course, Llandin Island on the southwest tip behind us, and Abermenai Point to our left. Southern tip of the large area of sand dunes known as the Newbury Warren. Beyond is the Newbury Forestry, village of Newbury to our left. A few miles further up the Anglesey coast, beyond Newbury is the village of Aberfraw, which was on this way back to the base of Caernarfon Air Force, just beyond the dunes behind us. So, behind some of the other high peaks, I think we can see 10 at least though. I know there's one more, so maybe 11 as we get closer to Caernarfon. It's possible to walk all 15 in one day. They're close enough, but it is quite a hike. But you do get people doing it or attempting it this time of the year due to the long hours of daylight. It's the favourite time of the year. But it is up to 40 miles of a hike and an awful lot of up and down.
There it is. No, it just came out again.
Sunshine again, better late than ever. Slade Key from where we sailed is so named because throughout the 1800s it would have been full of schooners loading cargoes of slates for export, and get very busy there by the mid-1800s. They were starting to get short of key space for the goods inwards into Caernarfon in particular, so they decided to build this dock that's straight ahead of us. Now this is the Victoria dock, built in the 1860s, so once it was opened in the early 1870s, much of the goods inwards into Caernarfon there would have come into this dock, including cargoes of timber brought by ship all the way from Canada, from St John's in Newfoundland. In they could sail out over the canal and over to St John. So it must have. So this first tower is now this is St Mary's Church, which would have been the church of the garrison and was in fact completed 1307. Last year it ended the first rain. So the next tower along is the Bath Tower, which is now being fitted out with accommodation. It does get rented out. And then further along again is the Twin Towers, which is one of the original gates through the town wall. This is Porther Iron or the Golden Gate. Since 1847, the Twin Towers have been home to the Royal Welsh Yacht Club. One of the oldest Royal Yacht Clubs in the country, certainly has to be the oldest premises of it, dating back to 1300. And further along next to the Anglesey Hotel is the Highland Tower, and no need to say it went on there. The Anglesey Hotel in the old days was the customs house. So Caernarfon Castle has seen a bit of conflict over the centuries, changed hands more than once during the Wars of the Roses and also during the English Civil War. Towards the end of the English Civil War, there was a parliamentary garrison here. So when the monarchy was restored, when Charles II came to the throne in 1660, he ordered the castle and town walls destroyed, but luckily his wishes weren't carried out.
That's us done, Jim Bob. Yeah.
Not like that.